Hey yoga mamas and friends. Today I want to give a little tutorial on a pose called Urdhva Hastasana, which is also known as upward salute. So the top of the pose is all about reaching up, and it's not just with the arms, but the gaze goes up too. And it can be a very straight up and down pose, or you could add a little back bend. As with a lot of poses, there's a lot of variations, but I want to bring some focus to what's going on in the shoulders, in the neck and head, the core, and even down into the legs and feet, because it's a full body pose. So I'm going to start, even though it's a standing pose, to get a little reference point for your alignment. It's kind of nice to do it on the ground. So find a space. You don't even need a yoga mat. My arms are going to go off the camera here, but that's all right. You get the idea. So even if you can find a wall and get your feet flat on the wall, so you can feel as if you're standing on the ground. So normally if you were standing, you'd start with your arms to your sides, and then you would raise them up either overhead or to the sides. And then once you get them overhead, you feel that openness in the chest. So give yourself a minute to try this, laying down with the arms overhead. And if you have any tightness in the neck, shoulders, or upper back, even this might be a bit difficult. So if that's the case, feel free to put a little kind of a flat pillow or cushion under your head for some support. I don't have a pillow here, but you can use something like a folded blanket. So, a lot of people will have sort of like a forward head, especially if you're on the computer a lot, and it will be difficult to lay flat on the ground. So if that's the case for you, get that little piece of support. And it just feels good if you've been sitting a lot or walking, standing, to just allow yourself to rest flat on the ground. So give that a try. My cat wants to join me. And the nice thing is you can bring that into your day, just as a way of taking a break and resting. Bring some deep breathing into it. Come on, Shadow. And let it be sort of like a restorative pose. All right. So I want to show you real quick. Urdhva Hastasana, I'm going to go way back so you can see me, is like this, right? So you're reaching up. Perhaps you're bending back. As you bend back, though, you will find that your ribs will jump forward. So it's helpful to practice getting some awareness of what's going on in your core, which is your abs, the sides of your torso, and your back, and even your glutes and pelvic floor. So if you can come to a neutral tabletop, which is the back's flat. It's funny. I started my Urban Yoga Mama newsletter because I wanted a way to practice even through the distractions of motherhood. And now that both my kids are in school, my cat is interrupting my practice. So anyway, get on into tabletop on all fours. So you may have heard of cat-cow. And as you practice, think of creating a wave in your spine. So as you exhale, round the spine. And as you inhale, arch the spine. So if you watch my spine, I start at the pelvis, exhaling, rounding, and then that movement goes up my back from the bottom all the way to the top, and my head is the last to move. And then as I arch, same thing, I tilt the pelvis forward, and then the rest of my spine follows from the lower back all the way up through my head. For some, it's a different way of practicing cat-cow. What you might normally see is just taking this part of your body, just your core, and just sinking it down and pulling it back up. So this is first the bottom of the spine moves, then the top. And the pelvis is what initiates it, and the head is what completes it. If that makes sense. Okay, now that is a great way to add some warmth to your body, but also to get a sense of how the pelvis sort of influences the position of your spine. You can get this too from seated cat-cow. So if you're sitting, you can do this if you're on a work break or whatever. Sit with a nice posture, reaching up through the top of your head. Wait for your exhale and just round. Start with your pelvis, let it go up your spine, one vertebra at a time, and the head relaxes. And then inhale, again, the pelvis tilts forward. Movement goes up the spine, one vertebra at a time, chest opens, head lifts. Try that a few times and you'll notice how my hands will slide forward and back on my thighs as I move. My arms are just relaxed. And if the breath gets out of sync, there's no problem with that. Just let it keep moving, let your body keep moving. Oof, feels great. So see, even that could be a precursor to like a seated Urdhva Hastasana, which is just like Urdhva Hastasana, but in a chair. Breathing in, arms go up. You might stay here. You might add a little back bend, and then arms come down. All right, so we got a sense of the core. The next part is the arms. So the arms can go up like this to the sides, or they can go forward and up. Main thing is you want to relax the shoulders down away from the ears. So it's totally fine to bend the elbows a bit or have the arms out in a little Y rather than straight up. Let's bring the arms out in front and just practice rotating externally, which is palms up, and internally. Look at this cat. Come on, Shadow. So notice, and we can even do a few times in and out. So the arms come out to the sides and just keep rotating externally and internally. This is just an experiment in movement, and see how the different positions of our shoulder, external rotation or internal rotation and external rotation, how those different positions engage our shoulders, our upper back, and even our chest. Notice as you turn the palms up, it's easier to open the chest. You can turn the palms down. It's not impossible to open the chest. It just feels different. So how this plays into Urdhva Hastasana is as you bring the arms up, you might have had someone instruct you to keep the palms facing together or towards each other. You may have had people to tell you to turn the palms back. I'm here to tell you there are no rules, and that it's so interesting to just rotate the arms and shoulders in different ways while you're up here. So maybe let's imagine I'm standing. I'm going to breathe in, upward salute, or Hastasana, and then play. I'm just playing. I'm rotating the shoulders in and out, and that reflects in the position of my hands. And then maybe I bring the arms down while I'm playing with that rotation again. So give that a try. That's a nice way to bring some really, really deep focus into the alignments in your arms and shoulders. And then last, if you want to try this at the wall, it can be so interesting. So if you tend to slouch or round a lot in your upper back, or you have a forward head, using the wall, and let's just, again, imagine I'm standing. I'm not standing because my head will go off the camera. Imagine I'm standing against the wall, and I could do the same thing. Inhale, maybe I'll sit, that'll be better, so my hips can be against the wall. You can go like this. Inhale, bring the arms up. And this is a straight vertical upward salute, vertical Urdhva Hastasana. So if you find that just maintaining this upward position against the wall is a little difficult, that just means you need a little extra love to your upper back and your neck and your shoulders. And that perhaps over time, with the guidance of the wall, or you could do the version of the floor, you'll get a better sense of what it means to be vertical. And then once you've got that vertical position pretty dialed in, you can start branching out into the more backward bending version of upward salute. All right, so I hope this was helpful to you in kind of viewing this posture, not just as a basic standing position, but a full body position that we can break down in different ways. We could see the different parts of our bodies moving. We can learn to just experiment. Oh, I forgot this. You can even, as you're rotating, you can kind of wiggle side to side in your upward salute. I'm such a fan of kind of thinking outside the box and adding some wiggles to poses so that we're not so rigid in our posture. Upward salute, like so many yoga poses, can seem rigid, where we only move in this plane, or we only move in this plane. Well, what if we were in upward salute and we were twisting a bit side to side, slowly, especially if your back is tense, but just to add some movement in a different plane, and to allow your body to experience what might be a familiar pose in some different ways. So I hope you enjoyed that, and most of all, I hope that you find some time in your day for a simple pose like this to give you a moment of pause, allow you to focus on your breath, and just to get a break from the grind of the day. Thanks for watching.